G'day, SPARTANWILLY here, and welcome back to our Aston Martin Motorsport Manager 2021 Manager Mod save. Alright, so some interesting news. Of course, Mercedes got that disqualification. Firstly, sorry, welcome back. Yeah, thanks so much for all the support on the latest videos and all the messages on Discord. I really appreciate that. Make sure to keep leaving comments, keep sending in messages if you've got any questions, remarks, suggestions, comments. Yeah, I reply to every comment eventually. I know I'm slacking a little bit, but I've been quite busy lately, but hopefully get the 500 sub video out soon. But yeah, leave a like on the video if you're enjoying the series and subscribe if you're not already. But we are the best car in grid, and look who's in second. Ferrari are making a resurgence. They love a mid-season resurgence, like always, like last year they did as well. And I don't know quite how they're so good. Like, how are they better than Mercedes when they're literally worse than in every area but the gearbox? So I reckon that gearbox might be illegal. So don't be surprised if we see Ferrari get disqualified. But that is quite interesting little development. We've got Singapore today. Part won't be ready. We can probably work on a couple sort of improvements, but I'll remember to switch out the pit crew hopefully. But as things stand, we're on 9 wins. Ferrari's on one. Of course, only one because Mercedes had that disqualified part last time out. So they had a sort of, they were there, but it was sort of handed to them a little bit. Hopefully, we can hold on to win the championship, but let's find out. I'll see ya for Singapore prep. All right, so here we are. Singapore time. Now, of course, we still have George Russell's. George Russell's fine, but injured forearm for Lance Stroll, which is quite a burden. He didn't perform that well last time in qualifying, so hopefully we see a bit of a turnaround here. We're back to having the best acceleration on grid, which is weird because I thought Ferrari leaps and bounds ahead, and of course we were third in that sort of fight behind both Ferrari and Mercedes. But we work on the gearbox quite a bit, and it goes back to purple. So 1574 seems to be the magic number. We're working on the brakes to hopefully get them back up to the top of the grid for next weekend. Brakes are important this weekend, but also important next time out in Japan. So hopefully we can get a good improvement there. We're of course building a new set of them as well. So surely we have a bit of a week break, and yeah, we do. So that's great. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, do practice Q1, Q2, and bring you back for Q3 at one of my favorite tracks in this game, Singapore. Looks like it's going to be clear the whole weekend. It's going to be quite warm here there. We're not usually in the 30s in this game. Obviously, most of it being in Europe. In Australia, we're usually at the 30s, so it's pretty usual for me come November. Oh, we're still in winter actually. No, we're not. We're just out of winter in Australia. But I'm getting a bit distracted here. I'll see you for Q3. All right, practice Q1, Q2, all a success. We're safely through to Q3. Hopefully able to get 3 runs. Look at that, excellent. Finally got there in the end with Russell. Just lost a little tweaking, 120 and we're speeding. But not quite there with Stroll, but the more I meddle with it, the sort of slower we go. So we're going to leave it for now. Um, yeah, like I said, love this track aesthetically. It looks fantastic. It's one of those tracks where you can't really have multiple circuits on it because you know how we have about 6 races all at that German track. You can't really have multiple races here. It's like Australia. It's very much location centered, so it's nice to come around to a unique track. But yeah, no, let's hopefully we get 3 runs here. Get Russell on pole, but Hamilton's on fire this weekend. Like always, Hamilton's the most consistent driver ever. Like it's mad. But send out Russell here for a second run. Send out Stroll. He's back in the garage. I'm hoping Stroll can turn around, Bach, because he's under a lot of pressure from the comments and from me as well. 2-year injury with a fractured wrist. If he's not pulling out decent results, it might be time for us to let him go. I mean, his dad is the owner of the team though, so he's kind of protected. But we'll see how things unfold in the off season. Maybe we can have a word to Russell, to Lawrence, say, look, we like having his son on the team, but he's injured now. Maybe it's the best if he stands down, makes way. But we'll see how that goes during the off season. Right now, let's hopefully still pull from Lewis Hamilton. By the way, I've done another oopsie. I've forgotten to renew the mechanics bloody contracts again. I do it every year. I get lazy to renew it when there's about 8 races to go. I'm like, oh, I remember for 8 races. Next minute, I don't even remember to change the pit crew, let alone renew all their contracts. So we've lost the pit crew, so I'm starting from square one yet again. But what can you do? I mean, I can save game edit it, but we're not going to be on pole. We're over half a second of Hamilton. I'm not going to save game edit it, but I can, I guess. But I'm not going to do that. It's my own fault for not renewing the contracts. But Hamilton on pole by like 7 tenths almost, or 6 and a bit. So shocking qualifying. Oh, not shocking, but it's pretty poor. I lot ahead of us as well. Are they cheating again? They could be cheating again. You never know. But yeah, second and sixth, not great. But we move on. See you in the race. All right, beautiful Singapore race day. Let's go. Second, hopefully we can jump over. Of course, we finally locked onto a tyre set because it's all clear this weekend. We obviously make it work in Q2 on the harder compound, so it's set up better for the race. Attack, overtake, overtake, attack. How many laps are these going? We're going to try and reduce the fuel load again because we just always have so much bloody fuel. So if it can help us get a better start, we'll chuck it down by 1 lap just because, you know, we don't want to give ourselves too much of a disadvantage. But we've got to work on our race starts because Russell was terrible at race starts this season. He's had a couple good ones, but most of the time they've been bad. Let's see how he goes now. 5 red lights, lights out, and Russell slow start yet again. To be expected, but we're going to be fighting Leclerc going into the first couple of corners, but he will get past. We've seen slow corners, slow starts all year round, so we know how this works. Maybe not actually. Leclerc seems to also have a slow start, so we somehow stay in front of Leclerc. Ricardo and Norris. Stroll drops back a little bit. Norris has gotten past him, but got past Ilott as well. But we overtake Perez. I mean, Perez got past us, then we retake position. The Red Bulls are really slow. They've really struggled this season, sadly for them. I'll take it. It's not a 3-horse race, but yeah, they've dropped right back down the grid. So will Max stay there? I don't know. We'll see in the off season, I guess. But yeah, not good for Red Bull for sure. Really falling off the pace. But Hamilton's 4 seconds in front already. We can pretty much write this race off. I think. Nah, never write off a race this early. He could crash out. We could crash out. You know, we're on the better tyre strategy. So we'll see how we go. We're going to look to try and make these tyres work for as long as possible. Ilott has been overtaken by Stroll, which is fantastic to see. I yawned a lot last episode. I'm holding back this yawn because it's bad to yawn. It makes me, yeah, it's bad to yawn. So we're holding back a yawn as well. But if I yawn, I'm sorry. You can't really control it. But Ilott got past Stroll. Let's watch on board this part here. Come on, Stroll. You're direct championship rival with Ilott. You can't let him get more points than you. Right now, you're the reason we're winning the championship. But he has got a fractured wrist, so we've got to give him a bit of slack. I really hope we don't choke this. We had like a 70-point lead, but I guess we took our foot off the gas. I mean, Russell did, I suppose, but he's not winning every race. That streak he went on at the start of the season was mental when you think about it. Winning that many races in a row, so fair play to him, but his DNFs are hurting us, and so is Stroll. Stroll's DNFing quite a bit as well, which is just not what you want. If you're in a championship fight, you can't afford to not be finishing races. Fair, simple as that, honest. But Stroll gets past Ilott because he pitted, and he's yelling down the mic about that. Come on. Behave, Stroll. But Hamilton's going to dive into the pits any second. For his sake, he should. Yeah, he is, because he's losing a lot of time. So hopefully Russell can push, and make up as much time while Hamilton makes it work. But he's on the mediums, so that is a very interesting strategy choice for Mercedes. We're probably not going to follow suit. We're going to go for a 2-stop today, so we're on an alternate strategy and look to do something different to him, quite frankly, because if we're on the same strategy and jump on the mediums, then we're not going to overtake him on track. So we're going to try and go on the softer tyre and see what we can do. We're going to look at bringing Stroll into the pit now on the softs, which can almost make it to the end of the race, but won't quite make it. But yeah, like I said, we're not going to try and make it because you're honestly better off pitting than trying to force it on a tyre compound. Saving tyres just wastes too much time. Pits don't use that much time. So Stroll comes back out in 6th. Great work. He's still on overtake on the fuel. Now Russell is of course leading this race. Only 4 seconds in front of Hamilton though, so that's disappointing. We're really going to look to push away while he's on the harder compound, but honestly doesn't make that much of an effect being on the harder compound. I think Russell could make it to the end of this race actually on the softs if we look after him. So we're going to stay on these for as long as really possible. I mean, Hamilton's gone. Once we pit, Hamilton's going to just go. So there's no point like trying to stay in front of him, I suppose. That being said, we are pulling away a little bit, but we'll probably get ripped back down as soon as I say that. No, we're still about 4 seconds in front. We're going to pit Russell this lap. If we can chuck on the power mode, use as much power. We're not going to use enough power for the pits, I don't think. Yeah, we are. Bring Russell into the pits on a pair of softs. Lovely stuff. Chuck it on 75% on safe. Auto on. And in the pits comes Russell, who will come out in 2nd. But that is fine. As long as we don't come out in 3rd. Leclerc is a good way behind us. So Russell's on fresher tyres and the softer compound and only 5 seconds behind Hamilton. So we could have a race coming into this race, which would be fantastic, but we'll see how we go first. And that gap to Hamilton is going down really quick, actually. So we're on the better strategy here. Hopefully we can look to cut down that lead. Use all that ERS, but he's pulling away a little bit. But we're definitely going to monitor that gap as these tyres look to go off that cliff from Hamilton. I mean, 70%, but there's still 25 laps to go in this race. So, anything can happen. We're going to go pretty easy on the tyres as well, because we don't want these tyres to go off a cliff. We should comfortably make it to the end of the race, but you never know. It doesn't hurt. Just look to keep the tyres in temperature anyway. Know what I mean? In the optimal temperature, the maximum speed. 3.7. That gap is slowly sort of jumping up and down, but it's sort of staying the same, isn't it, really? It's down to 3.3, but it'll probably blow back out to 4.5. But it's staying at 3 here. If we can get it to the 2s, that'll be a new sort of record low. We're saving up the ERS as well, so that is positive signs. Can we see his ERS? No, we can't. Fair enough. It would be a bit cheeky, wouldn't it? Stroll's still got another stop in him, I believe. Yeah, he's going to do well to get to the end of the tyres. End of the race on those tyres. But if he can, that'll be really good. But I think Eilot's got a pit again as well. So it won't really matter. Maybe Norris will get in front of us. But I think he's got a pit as well. So yeah, we'll just judge it by who's around him. But Russell, why am I getting the names mixed up all of a sudden? Russell's about 3 seconds behind Hamilton. We really need Hamilton's tyres to die, to be honest. And it's down at 1.9 seconds. We could have a go at Lulu come the end of this race. We're going to tell Stroll to keep conserving those tyres. And it's 1 second on Lewis Hamilton. And Russell has put in an absolute shift. It's 0.7 seconds. He's using ERS. He's got plenty of ERS. He's charging it back up. And there he goes. He uses the blue flag as an opportunity. They're going wheel to wheel with Lulu. And he gets a burst of pace as it looks like he's passed. He's going to send it down the inside. He's too far back. And this is not a bit of a battle that we expect to see, to be honest. I thought this race was over, but with 10 laps to go, we're having a go at Lewis. He's going to pull away a little bit, and he looks like he's gotten away with one there. We're going to tell him to conserve the tyres because they're about to overheat. But yeah, this is exciting stuff. And he's going to send it down. Not quite going to get there, though. As Stroll's still looking after his tyres. We've got to check up on him. Yeah, he's fine. Those tyres should make it through to the end. So, Eilot has pit onto mediums for some reason. He's a lunatic. But Russell, this is an exciting battle. I'm going to zoom ahead a little bit, but he's pulling away. But we are looking after the tyres because we make sure they stay in the optimal range. But Leclerc's going to come into the pit. Stroll's too far back, but it takes him out the battle with us, which is, he's already out of the battle, let's be real. But you're looking after those tyres, getting him in a good range. And now, let's do it. Why are you using hybrid? No, we're taking over. Stop. You don't need petrol. For goodness sake, Russell. I don't care what Stroll does. I care what Russell does. And now he goes, he's going to send it, and we're going to give him a bit of power. Power away. That was unexpected. I wasn't even watching, to be honest. But there we go. We're past Lulu against all the odds, and we're in front of Eilot. So we're winning both battles here in Singapore. And 6 laps to go. Come on, keep pushing, Russell. Pull away, pull away. Use all the ERS. Use that 3% ERS in that one corner. Lovely stuff. Now, hopefully, Stroll makes it to the end on those tyres because we don't want to bring him in. We probably could now. I think we're a pit stop away from Eilot. Yeah, let's actually bring Stroll in. I think it's going to be fine. He'll come out in front of Eilot. Because those tyres are going to go off the cliff and it's going to be no point being on those tyres. We may as well pit while we're ahead, eh? Use all the ERS you can and go on medium. And now, how's Stroll going? We're looking after his ERS. We've sort of got to watch this fight with Lewis. But we're going to tell him to conserve a little bit and just push. I want to be able to put this guy in attack because Stroll's pitted here. He's going to come out in front of Eilot by easily 6 seconds. So good choice there. Norris pits as well. Yeah, no time lost there. We're nowhere near the fight with Ricciardo, so it's fine. We might have been, but I don't think we would have got through on those dead tyres anyway. We're going to zoom ahead a little bit with George Russell, who, has done really well today. It has to be said, he's done fantastic. Hamilton's tyres looking pretty dead. Yeah, don't worry about your tyre deck, mate. Keep pushing. Just don't put it in the wall, whatever you bloody do, please. Auto off. Put auto back on. I forgot to turn auto back on. You do you. But we're going to watch Russell's here. And he's about 3 seconds in front of Lulu now, so it is looking decent. 2 laps to go. George Russell has put in an absolute shift today. Stayed with Hamilton. And what a drive for young George Russell, who's going to get his 10th win of the season, bar anything crazy happening as we pass Stroll, sort of kind of say hello over the wall. But yeah, what a race from Russell today. Fantastic work as he comes up to the final couple of corners here. Last hairpin. I'm going to watch him cross the line. We're not going to miss it this time round. George Russell wins in Singapore. What a race that was. Fantastic job. Good to hear the British anthem again. As we're going to watch Stroll cross the line. Only 8 seconds off Ricardo and still 10 seconds clear of Ilott. So fine job there. Use all the ERS you got, mate. Make that gap look as small as possible. Pad the stats a little bit. Stroll did fantastic today as well. We extend the gap by 9 points to Mercedes. And Russell is now just 14 points off Hamilton. But as soon as he gets close, he gets swatted back down. But hopefully this time we can hold firm. Stroll crosses the line in 5th place. Fantastic work, team. First and fifth, that's 1 place improvement on qualifying. Of course, the most important place between second and first. Jumping Hamilton today is massive. Hamilton didn't quite have the same pace in the mediums that we had in the softs, and we saw that today, which is great. Usually you don't see much of a difference in the compounds, but strategy is what won us today in an all-clear race, which is surprising, to be honest. Daniel Ricciardo got fastest lap, fair play to him. Surprised Stroll didn't pick it up, to be honest. He had a lot of power and resources go after that pit stop at the end there, but look at that, 64 point gap to Mercedes. Great to see. All right, so on to the interview here. Sebastian Vettel's agent's been telling everyone around town, no chance, mate. We let you go for a reason. You're a crash-happy driver, but I love you, Vettel, but you're a bit past it, unfortunately. We've got George Russell here. He's got 10 wins this season. It's got nothing to do with how different the cars are this year. Don't worry. But yeah, best. Oh, okay. I jumped the gun a little bit there. It looked like it was best, but there is actually a little gap there. So what is the next part we're going to develop here? Should we get a sick engine for Yas Marina? Do we start looking towards next year's car? I think we do, because this year's car is looking pretty good, and we might have the championship all wrapped up team-wise. But George Russell, I guess we should keep making parts for George Russell, but I do want to start to look towards next year a little bit. So let's look at a good engine, because it's all about that engine, of course, mate. All about the bloody engine. So 1586. What's our current engine? So if it's going to be like not that much of an improvement, there's no real point because engines take bloody yonks. Oh no, it's going to be 100 times, 100 performance levels better. So yeah, definitely should be doing that. Let's have a look. So 1586. Do any of these do it even more? 158. No, that's worse. So if we keep that, I mean, is there any difference? One just gives you a risk level, so that means we can't use it. But 1586, the best one there. Keep that on. And it's sort of a trial and error because these don't exactly line up with that. So, but yeah, anyway, we can just do that. So let's build that, and that's a next year engine part. So that would be good for next year. Great to have a 1586 to really keep Mercedes away, and we can look to build another one of those next year when they're easy components for the second car. But yeah, I'm going to work on rebuilding this pit crew a little bit because it is looking pretty sad at the moment. Of course, that's what happens when you forget to renew your contracts. If you don't know how to, just click on them and go renew contract. The thing that's annoying about that is you have to click on every individual one. There should be a renew all button, and it'll make me just not be so lazy to click on like all 20 of them. But anyway, that is that. So I hope you enjoyed today's race. I bloody loved it. I'm not going to lie. I love a strategy race like that when you come out on top. I make my blunders with the pit crew and a strategy occasionally, but sometimes we come out on top, and that is what makes this game so bloody fun. The stakes are so high, championships on the line. We've got double the wins of Hamilton with Russell there, but he still isn't leading the championship. So unlucky for him. I mean, you create your own luck by crashing out. It doesn't really work. And Nick DeVries is listed. Did Nick DeVries do a race? I don't think he did. No, he didn't. I didn't think he did. Okay. Anyway, that's weird. I don't know why it's listed at the bottom there. Weird. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like in the video, like always, and subscribe if you're not already, but I'm sure you already are. Message me on Discord for any questions, feedback, anything. Comment down below as well. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.